Good morning and welcome to your Staff's Live Sports Bulletin. My name's Andrew Gate.
And I'm Tom Jackson.
And this is the news at 10:15. Fulham have been relegated from the Premier League following a 4-1 defeat to Watford last night. After spending £100 million in the summer, Fulham couldn't avoid the drop, and manager Scott Parker was disappointed with last night's performance.
We knew the task ahead was going to be pretty difficult in terms of staying in the league. We understood that. I think initially, obviously, as much as I'm disappointed regarding the relegation, I think the most frustrating and disappointing thing is in the manner we've lost tonight.
Manchester United boss Ole Gunnar Solskjaer remains confident his side will finish in the Premier League's top four, despite their 2-1 defeat at Wolves last night. United lie 5th in the table behind Tottenham on goal difference, but they've played one game more. Solskjaer admits they haven't let themselves much room for error in their remaining fixtures.
We need 15 points in the last 6, so we don't have room for many more losses, no.
It's a difficult run as well, isn't it?
It is, but then again we're a very good team as well, so it'll be difficult for the ones that's going to play against us as well.
There was an action-packed night in the Football League yesterday. Jacob Leeks has more.
Bristol City moved back into the Championship playoff places last night with a 1-0 win away at Middlesbrough. Adam Webster rose highest at a first-half corner to condemn Tony Pulis' hosts to a 5th successive defeat. Pulis' side have won just once in 2019 and his men were booed off at full-time, with some even calling for him to be sacked. Bristol are now 5th in the Championship table, just 6 points off the top 2, with a game in hand on the majority of the other playoff contenders. Elsewhere, Nathan Dyer scored his first goal in Swansea colours since August 2014 as they hammered Brentford 3-0. The winger opened the scoring within a minute of kick-off, hitting one of the quickest goals at the Liberty Stadium. Having waited 1,167 days for a league goal in Swansea colours, the winger added a second before half-time, before Daniel James sealed a comfortable win for Graham Potter's men after the break. Dyer was delighted to have finally broken his scoring duck.
No, I can't.
August 2014.
Wow.
Against West Brom, you scored 2 that day.
Really? Oh my gosh, yeah, that's a long time. But yeah, no, it's nice to score. It's just nice to play in this team and to play football. You know, I'm always one to play great football first and foremost, and to get on the score sheet is a bonus.
They came out to you.
In League One, strugglers Rochdale have appointed caretaker manager Brian Barry Murphy as their permanent boss on a 2-year deal. Dale are unbeaten under the Irishman since the sacking of Keith Hill, although remain in the relegation zone on goal difference. Jacob Leeks, Staff's Live.
Unfortunately, racist abuse in football has reared its ugly head yet again, but this time it's the players who are failing to stick up for their teammates. Following last night's Serie A match against Cagliari, Juventus defender Leonardo Bonucci appeared to suggest that the blame for some of the racist abuse received by teammate Moise Kean should be shared 50-50. He stated that the young striker should have acted professionally and not provoked those in the stands. Now this comes just a week after Danny Rose was targeted by Montenegro supporters in England's Euro 2020 qualifier, and it doesn't appear like something that's going away anytime soon.
Gloucester fly half Danny Cipriani has signed a new contract with the Premiership club. The 31-year-old is believed to have agreed a 3-year deal which could see the England international end his career at Kingsholm. The former Sale Sharks back made the move to the southwest from top-flight rivals Wasps last summer.
Now when you're younger, many people want to follow in their father's footsteps. Well, for Mick Schumacher, the 20-year-old son of the F1 legend Michael Schumacher, he's doing just that. The youngster set the second fastest time in qualifying for Ferrari ahead of the Bahrain test yesterday, and Mick says his dad was a huge influence on him.
Well, he had a huge influence. I mean, he's, as everybody knows, I guess my idol. And I'm really following everything he did and you know, trying to look at something that I could use myself, and so I had a huge role in how I'm driving now. So yeah, really happy about that.
Finally, in tennis, Andy Murray has returned to a tennis court just 2 months after hip surgery. The 2-time Wimbledon champion underwent a hip resurfacing procedure in January before saying he would not be able to play professionally again. However, that does not seem to be the case now, with Murray posting a video on Instagram of him hitting a ball against a wall alongside the caption, "It's a start."
Well, that's all for now. Make sure to join us at 12:15 for all of the latest developments in the sporting world. And if you can't wait till then, make sure to check out staffslive.co.uk or on our Twitter, staffslive, for any further updates. I've been Tom Jackson.
I've been Andy Gate.
And until next time, it will be goodbye from us and goodbye from the sporting world.
Good afternoon and welcome to your Staff's Live Sports Bulletin. My name's Andrew Gate.
And I'm Tom Jackson.
And this is the news at 12:15. Fulham have been relegated from the Premier League following a 4-1 defeat to Watford last night. After spending £100 million in the summer, Fulham couldn't avoid the drop, and they've joined Huddersfield, who were relegated on Saturday. Joining me now in the studio is our football correspondent James Horton.
Hi Andrew.
So James, where did it all go wrong for Fulham?
Yeah, I think that Fulham have looked really poor at the back this season. They've been okay going forward. Alexander Mitrovic has provided the cutting edge for that team. He's got 10 goals this season and has probably looked the biggest attacking threat. But coming back, they've conceded 76 goals this year. That's the most in the league, and 17 more than Huddersfield, who sit 3 points behind them. So it's really been a case of being able to score goals but also being outscored by the opposition.
Obviously, in the summer, it was made no secret that they spent big on their transfers. Do you think that played a part in the season?
I think it did. Spending £100 million at the time was seen as a massive move forward for Fulham. Obviously, Shahid Khan had pumped a lot of money into the club and was trying to take them to the next level. But it also it took away from the accomplishment that they had the season before. There was a positive atmosphere around the club, and they were effectively starting from scratch with a brand new team. It really tore the heart out of the club right at the time they needed to be coming together and working together to improve the team.
Obviously, Scott Parker has taken charge as caretaker. Do you think he'll be given the job permanently?
Well, he currently remains favourite with the bookmakers, but the odds are shortening for former Huddersfield manager David Wagner and also Steve Clarke, who's currently managing Kilmarnock. I think that the fact that he's been relegated and hasn't picked up points during his interim time with the coach, despite the fact they have looked slightly better on the pitch, will really work against him, and it could be that this is the last time we see him in the Fulham dugout.
And finally, where do Fulham go from here?
Yeah, it could be, you would imagine that they've spent quite a lot on wages. Obviously, spending £100 million on transfers, you're going to be spending a lot on wages as well, and a lot of these players will want to be playing in the Premier League. So a lot of these players are going to look to leave this summer, and it could really once again tear out the heart of the club and leave them starting from scratch. This could be the beginning of a massive downward spiral for Fulham Football Club.
Okay, cheers. Thank you, James.
Thank you, Andrew.
Manchester United boss Ole Gunnar Solskjaer remains confident his side will finish in the Premier League's top 4 despite their 2-1 defeat at Wolves last night. But Solskjaer admits they haven't left themselves much room for error in their remaining fixtures, as they currently lie 5th in the table behind Tottenham on goal difference, but they've played one game more.
We need 15 points in the last 6, so we don't have room for many more losses, no.
It's a difficult run as well, isn't it?
It is, but then again we're a very good team as well, so it'll be difficult for the ones that's going to play against us as well.
On to tonight's action, and Tottenham will christen their new stadium as they welcome Crystal Palace for their first game at the 62,000-seater Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this evening. And Captain Harry Kane is looking forward to stepping out onto the new pitch for the first time.
It's been a long while. The send-off of White Hart Lane was emotional, so yeah, now we're here, and I know the atmosphere is going to be electric, and walking out that tunnel into the new stadium is obviously going to be a dream. So most importantly, we obviously got to get the right result, but it's going to be a special occasion.
Manchester City host Cardiff at the Etihad Stadium, knowing a win will take them above Liverpool at the Summit. Guardiola knows a draw will be enough to take Man City top of the league, but wants nothing less than 3 points.
They know every game you lose, you are out. That is the best way you have to face. Draw is not enough. You have to win, and that is what I'm going to try to do.
Chelsea also take on Brighton tonight in the Premier League, knowing that a win will put them back into the top 4. Forward Eden Hazard and midfielder N'Golo Kante are expected to return to the starting 11, and Callum Hudson-Odoi could make his first Premier League start. Brighton manager Chris Hughton, on the other hand, is contemplating rotating his side ahead of their FA Cup semi-final on Saturday against Manchester City.
Today's latest Championship news now. Bolton have been given a further 5 weeks to settle their debts or risk going into administration. It comes just a day after players refused to train for 48 hours after staff were not paid their salaries on time for the second month in a row. It was also an eventful evening in the Championship yesterday. Matthew Perry has more.
Bristol City moved back into the playoff places last night with a 1-0 win away at Middlesbrough. Adam Webster rose highest at a first-half corner to condemn Tony Pulis' hosts to a fifth successive defeat. Pulis' side have won just once in 2019, and his men were booed off at full time, with some even calling for him to be sacked. Bristol are now fifth in the championship table, just 6 points off the top two, with a game in hand on the majority of the other playoff contenders. Elsewhere, Nathan Dyer scored his first goal in Swansea City colours since August 2014 as they hammered Brentford 3-0. The winger opened the scoring within a minute of kick-off, hitting one of the quickest goals at the Liberty Stadium. Having waited 1,167 days for a league goal in Swansea colours, Dyer added a second before half-time, before Daniel James sealed a comfortable win for Graham Potter's men after the break. In League One, strugglers Rochdale have appointed caretaker manager Brian Barry Murphy as their permanent boss on a 2-year deal. Dale are unbeaten under the Irishman since the sacking of Keith Hill, although remain in the relegation zone on goal difference. Matty Perry, Staffs Live.
Horse racing trainer Gordon Elliott has confirmed riding plans for all 13 of his intended Grand National runners. Big race favourite Tiger Roll will be ridden again by Davy Russell as they bid to win the National for the second year in succession. Tiger Roll is a general 7-2 favourite to emulate the Great Red Rum by becoming the first back-to-back National winner since 1974.
American football now, and the Jacksonville Jaguars announced the signing of running back Benny Cunningham. Cunningham played the last 2 seasons with the Chicago Bears after 4 impressive years with the Rams, and despite not being in Jacksonville long, the veteran tailback has said that he's already had a warm welcome and believes the team has what it takes to win a Super Bowl.
Just excited to have the opportunity. Feel like this place could be home for me. Get to live in Florida, get away from the cold. So pretty much just excited to get things started. The opportunity to continue playing, compete. I feel like, it's pieces in place that this team can win a Super Bowl, so I just want to be a part of something special.
Now, when you're younger, many people want to follow in their father's footsteps. Well, for Mick Schumacher, son of the F1 legend Michael Schumacher, he's doing just that. Jacob Leagues brings you the latest from Schumacher's first Ferrari outing.
Mick Schumacher has said he enjoyed his first outing in a Ferrari F1 car after finishing second fastest in yesterday's testing session in Bahrain. The son of 7-time world champion Michael Schumacher completed 56 laps for his father's former team, and his time was only topped by Red Bull's Max Verstappen. And Schumacher was delighted to have the chance to emulate his dad.
I guess you guys see that I'm smiling a lot, so it really shows that I enjoyed it a lot, especially those last laps, with full power, with everything. It was just amazing.
Meanwhile, Renault team boss Cyril Abiteboul has branded his team's engines issues unacceptable after seeing both Nico Hülkenberg and Daniel Ricciardo retire from Sunday's Bahrain Grand Prix. Both were set for points finishes when their cars failed at the same time just 3 laps before the end of the race. Hülkenberg, though, believes there are some positives to take.
When you saw, that we're definitely in the bunch of the midfield and that we have a competitive package and we can battle with everyone in the midfield. So some positives obviously to take from this weekend, but still work to be done on just 2 weekends with a lot of hiccups and issues, and we just need to be cleaner in the preparation process and in the whole weekend without problems.
F1 now takes a 2-week break before the Chinese Grand Prix. Jacob Leaks, Staffs Live.
In Speedway, Eastbourne have appointed Edward Kennett as team captain for their step up to championship racing this season. The Eagles, who open against Birmingham on Saturday, have moved into the second tier after 4 years at National League level. Kennett previously rode for the Arlington side in the Elite League, his last spell in their colours coming way back in 2008.
Some new changes, some old faces come back to the club, which is nice to see. Old sponsors come back in, and it's nice to see it trying to push forward again. Upper league now, which is where I think the club really belongs.
A runner at the Keizu Hao International Marathon has received a lifetime ban after cycling part of the race. The woman was repeatedly told to dismount the bike by race officials, but ignored their instructions. Despite her blatant cheating, the woman still took 5 hours, 38 minutes and 36 seconds to cross the line. A rise in the interest in running across China has seen the cases of cheating in races increase exponentially, with more than 250 runners caught cheating in the Shenzhen Half Marathon in November.
That's all for now. For all of the latest developments in the sporting world, make sure to check out staffslive.co.uk and Staffs Live on Twitter. I've been Tom Jackson.
And I've been Andy Gate.
And until next time, we'll see you soon.